stable. Sylar's not going to be slowed down. So that's something IG has to consider as they roll in.
Up at that top lane, Fly gonna be in danger. And, well, he's just walking out of there still. Very, very low. And the soul assumption will be enough from Faith Beyond to take him out. That's an important pick off there. Still mid lane. They are making the jump on Nothing to Say with Kaka and Ehome, but Nothing to Say gonna run into a Haze Rune, and he makes a run for it. They will not be able to catch him. That is as lucky as you really get in that mid lane.
Yeah, and he just gets to go back in the jungle. He did pop the RP to no effect. But again, you're not hoping to really get any major kills here as Ehome, with these failed rotations, still maintain a lead. But up top, Faith Beyond now.
Gonna be in trouble, but the Stomp will hold back Fly. Excuse me, it was rather Wise Magic Missile. The Stomp completely whiffed on Faith Beyond. They're still looking to get aggressive here up against Fly. They know exactly where he is. Xingqiu gonna roll in, but does not connect, and Fly will just take that as his exit. They're just gonna continue potentially just pushing down this tier 1 tower. I mean, Faith Beyond doesn't really have the 6 yet, so I don't think you can commit to the tier 1 push up at this top lane. Up until that level 6 mark, you just don't really have the damage for the tier 1 towers.
Nah. Still
roll in. They're going to go on to Ollie. That's Soul Assumption. Should be enough, but a great stomp out. Connecting on 2, and they're going to go onto the Visage, but Wyatt does try and help out, but no. Emo is there on the Void Spirit. Now going on to Xingqiu with the Aether Remnant to lock him in, and Xingqiu will also go down. A double kill out for Emo.
Yeah, and that's what we like to see from IG. It's these early rotations from Emo for him to start the snowball. It was a slower lane mid. Those kill pickups, he does tie himself closer towards Nothing to Say, and those kills also help out Fly, who hits the level 6 mark. So he's got more damage from the stun, more duration as well, and they rotate mid even. Sylar, he's all alone here.
He got the tier 1 tower. They are going to get the Arcane run on Kaka, and he will just leap out of there. Ollie and Emo trying to follow up. They won't be able to get much done, and well, with that rotation that Emo made up towards that top lane, it did just kind of allow Sylar to take the mid-tier 1 tower for free, and that's actually pretty high value for Ehome. No tier 1 mid tower being traded, and not even the bottom top towers were touched, so I don't know, IG getting that double kill on the Void Spirit but losing that mid tier 1 is pretty big for Ehome.
Oh, it definitely is. They are starting to impose themselves down bot. JT does pop the dragon form. There's no one around to defend, but you've got 6 up in Faith Beyond. He's just going to try to shove out the top tower himself, and he can get that work done relatively quickly. It's just a lot of damage flying out, and if Y comes around with a Vengeance Aura for him to benefit from, it's going to be even faster as well.
Still mid lane, Emo playing with Nothing to Say. Both sides just trading those tier 1s now. It was JT with the dragon form, do it very, very simply. Sylar actually going for a very interesting Mask of Madness build in Prophet. Not something we see every day. And Emo jumping onto Nothing to Say. RP is available. Emo does get RP'd, but the Aether Remnant gonna lock him in. Emo, no mana for the Astral Step at the moment. Trying to bottle up, and looks like he will get just enough to get out. That's your first RP of the game. Not really leading to anything. They'll just be glad that everyone survived.
Yeah, it's I think it's the second. I think Nothing to Say blew it down mid as well, but they're happy to do this as long as Nothing to Say lives and farms. Ehome, they're looking to play that slower game. They still need the blink for Nothing to Say to engage properly. He is rushing the Echo Saber to speed up his farm and presence as well. So that's a lot of items they need up before they're ready to go, and with that kind of commitment, they finish up that top tier 1. Sylar's Mask of Madness making short work of it. They do find themselves that objective trade. IG, though, invading that jungle. They don't want to let Ehome really maximize their position as they catch Y out.
That'll be an easy kill out onto Y. The stomp follow-up from Ollie will be enough. Be no form of a trade here for Ehome. They'll just accept the fact that that he does die. Now they're going to rush for the mid-tier 1 tower. Drum's been popped. armlet up on Fly. It's a bit more bonus damage, but Ehome not going to be willing to just let this go down for free. But they'll set up for the team fight. They are coming around from all ends off the map. Try and get that initiation off, and it's going to be a bit challenging knowing the RP is down, but here comes Faith Beyond with all his units, getting those stuns off onto JT with the Soul Assumption. And IG actually wanting to just get out of there. They don't want any part of this team fight. They're just trying to get out, and it looks like they'll be fine in doing so. And
this is still okay for Ehome. They're just going to defend, but not quite ready to actually force the fight. They will have RP in about 20 seconds or so. So once that's up, IG's got to be a bit more cautious, and that delay out actually really helps Ehome, as even that Echo Saber comes out right in time for nothing to say. So successful defense in that sense, and IG, they still have a bit of a deficit there. They're trying to apply themselves forward, but there is a smoke now from Ehome.
Gonna commit straight away. Ehome running down towards that bot lane. Ollie gonna scout him out with the Astral Spirit. He knows they're there. Roll in. Q was on point, but Kaka does leap away. It's the beauty of the Astral Spirit. Even if you're smoked up, you can hear the sound when the Spirit's going through heroes. He knew that they were coming in, so this smoke attempt not really going to work out. Ehome back to the drawing board. IG just playing the avoid game for now. I believe they're just waiting on Emo to finish off that Yule Scepter before they want to go any further. You've also got the Blink being worked on by JT, so there's plenty of forms of initiation that are just lacking right now for IG that they may as well just wait on. That does seem to be the plan. The bot lane, Kaka just gets caught out. Y will take the kill, and I thought Kaka was out of there. Turns out he came back into farm, and the supports of Ehome will just burst him down.
Yeah, it's a nice freebie for Ehome. And again, they're just happy to take it slow as well. I think they're set up to actually farm a bit better here. I mean, that Mom and Siler does mean he can hit harder, although Fly is trying to force him out.
Doesn't have a stun.
TP's home.
Nobody there to cancel off the TP for Fly. Yeah, I mean, it's a new build that that MOM. Well, it's not really new. It was actually pretty old school, but you just don't see it often. But it is allowing him to farm up a very, very fast Desolator. He is going to have up in just about 1k worth of gold.
Yeah, and that's going to be a massive spike. Remember, this lineup of Ehome is going for a much more physical build. They've got the Venge for the initial minus armor. They've got the Empower to really boost their damage up as well. This is going to be a heavy-hitting Prophet as the game goes on. And it's not like Ehome's going to lack scaling. Nothing to say on the core mag. RP's always going to be relevant, but if he gets caught out like this...
Q going to roll in, but Kaka will just leap away. Top lane, they have caught out the Magnus. Enough to say we'll just commit the RP and skew out of there. He does have a TP available, but can he actually find a position to use it? Aether Remnant not going to get him, and Ollie going to scout him out, but they will not have the lockdown in time. It did cost you an RP to get out, but he didn't want to lose the gold. He was so close to his Blink Dagger. He will remain just a few hundred gold off.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Like, nothing to say that's 3 RPs that don't lead to anything but the safety of farm. And Ehome, they're playing a lot safer than we're used to seeing, but it is paying off. You know, Fate Beyond just about to finish his own 4-staff on this Visage, so he's gonna have more mobility, or at least ways to force heroes into him still.
Run straight into Faith Beyond. They're trying to get through that Gravekeeper's Cloak. The Stomp is gonna be out, but swap out on the Visage. And JT, well, Magnetize is gonna be there. Q trying to control them up. Refreshing it. Still chasing down that Visage here. IG should be able to eventually get it, and they do. Familiars might get out. No, they'll lose one. Faith will save the other. Of course, Ollie ended up dying as well, but it's not too big of a deal for the side of IG. They got a 2-for-1 trade. I'm sure they'll be more than happy with that.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup for them. They are finding small wins here and there. This is delaying Fate Beyond's progress, so it's been rather slow for him. It's been Dominator and 4-staff, which is fine, but we're used to seeing him have a faster build-up to something like, say, The Medallion just running over here is like that still. I think with that blink on the mag, they're ready to go in. They're just going to go for an early rush with all this physical damage they do have.
They've got the Desolator up on Silo, which makes it that much easier. And IG don't seem to be aware at all that this is happening. Scan will come out and actually scan out one, and that was actually just JT on the DK, but they have no clue. I don't blame them. It's a very fast Roshan attempt. They go down. So first Aegis of the game, going to nothing to say on the Magnus. Ehome maintaining a 3k net worth lead for their side of things, and it looks like they're ready to go with that Blink RP up. Of IG, of course, not wanting to fight into the Aegis, just trying to get out of there. Ehome, they're just going to take over the jungle. And with this Visage and the Nature's Prophet, you can easily start pushing down that top tier 2 tower, and they might need to, because Emo is forcing in the bottom tier 2.
Yeah, it's slower progress for that Void Spirit, but they do have backup on hand. It doesn't look like they're going to go for the defense. They're going to go for the straight trade. JT uses that ult. So it's an objective for an objective. I think the potential for Ehome to take over that top jungle is a lot greater, considering that there's no mid-tier 1. So this is a bit better for Ehome in that sense. With a straight-up trade, that does limit IG's movement just a bit more. Up top, they're going to have to be careful in their own jungle. They do still have some great wards. They've got a sentry right on top of that one obs. Ehome's going to lose that control fairly quickly, but still a slightly favorable trade for Ehome. But IG, again, this is into the Aegis. They're not keen on fighting. They're just going to save up. You can see Emo is saving up for the early Ags after his Hewels. So he's going to have that silence out in play. And they're just going to have to wait. Even Fly, he's opting for that Echo Saber. He's already got the Shadow Blade. So he can have himself some nice break with a Silver Edge. Just patience here from IG.
Ehome is still ready to go. Kaka, popping the Moonlight Shadow, does show his position. That's going to come out from Y, but he was barely... Well, actually, he did connect on Ollie, but Ollie is already out of there. Now Emo going to jump back in onto that Venge. Roll, not going to connect, but Y will go down, and now the Stomp is out from Ollie onto that Earth Spirit with the arrow follow-up. That'll be the support duo of Ehome dying. And IG want to chase for more. All they can get is some familiars for themselves, but it's still a great little team fight for IG.
Yeah, they win out. They take out the 2 supports. Sin-Q just a bit too keen on his position, and IG does find a punishment. Ehome, they were clumped up there from IG, but they did not opt to have nothing safe. Tried to pop that RP, just playing it safe. Of course, they've still got a lot of time in the Aegis. They can take it slow as they just go back to farming. Nothing says working towards a BKB next. I think that's the point where the Magnus really does start to take over a bit better. It's going to be a lot tankier. Going to have a magic immunity, so the control's not going to be there, and he's going to be careful.
Bot lane, going to go down. Great gank out from the side of IG. In top lane, Kaka will die, but it's nowhere near the same priority. They're going to try and go after Ollie, but he's just fine to run out of there. IG still finding the positive trades and now really evening out that net worth. Just less than 1k for Ehome at this point. Ehome, I mean, I understand they want core items up, but is it really going to be that big of a difference once these BKBs are out for Ehome? Like, are we going to wait for more after that?
They shouldn't. I think they've got to apply that pressure sooner rather than later. JT, he's got a halberd up, so that raw right click you're expecting from either Nothing to Say or Sylar, they've got a way of mitigating that, and that should be some slight cause for worry here for Ehome. They are just going all in physical, and so anything that prevents them from right clicking is going to be rough. Still, the BKB is ready on Nothing to Say. I'm sure they're going to try to find something soon. It's just that IG have been a lot more disciplined in being split up, in clearing out the map as efficiently as possible. That has given Emo a lot of time to save up towards his Ags. He's 500 gold off, and that's a major power spike for the Void Spirit. Just a lot at play here for IG as Ehome do try to go hunting.
They do. There's a Moonlight Shadow out from IG, and the smoke. I'm not sure if it's actually going to lead to anything. Seeing Q and Y having a look around, and Kaka does get spotted, but he's out of range. Now Ollie will also get spotted, and Sylar will have enough damage to take him out with the Mask of Madness Deso. So they get another position 5 kill onto Ollie. Still not really what you want. Something a bit bigger than that from IG, but they aren't showing. IG just going to sit back and relax. Ehome, they do manage to take the mid tier 2 tower while they were just sticking back, and it's still a very, very slow game between these two, but Ehome, they get some objectives at least, so I guess they're happy.
Yeah, they do
Bot
use
lane.
the Aegis, so...
Sylar, once again on the Nature's Prophet, going down. The exact same combination, but now nothing to say. Is going to go in on Fly. Emo just TPs out of there on the Void Spirit, and well, they don't commit the RP. Fly is going to be able to just walk himself out.
And this is becoming an issue for Ehome, constantly losing their pause one in exchange for nothing. Punishment is consistent from IG, and this is, well, it's not quite hampering Sylar's farm. He's still ahead by a good amount. It's just that you're giving IG ways of coming into this game. As Emo, he finished up his Ags. He's got that silence on the pulse, and he's got the charges up. It's going to be scary to fight into this.
Emo jumping in, does catch out the Venge, but no, he actually gets a familiar there. Still going back on the Venge. Why? Low, but not low enough, so they'll take the team fight. Jumping onto the Visage now, Fly. Getting rid of that Gravekeeper's Cloak, but it's not going to be enough yet. They do get Y on the Venge. Fly very, very deep, but he almost kills off Faith, and he does. Does manage to get the kill, but now the RP coming up from the Magnus. Nothing to say, does kill off Emo. Onto JT, no, they might want Ollie. You go after the older Titan, but Skewer does not connect. Ollie gets a stomp off. The roll is going to be there, and Sylar will TP in on the Nature's Prophet. They do eventually get a 2 for 2. Buyback having to be committed by Faith Beyond. That's really the closest action we've had in quite a while now, and even after that team fight, IG, they do manage to, for the first time, take the net worth lead.
And I'd still consider that a big win for them. They force a nice big buyback on, and there's just not enough damage on Nothing to Say just yet to really take control and instantly burst these bigger heroes in the RP. So constant buildup is still needed. You are seeing Sylar as well go into the BKB straight after. He's going to be a lot harder to handle once this NP does have that up. But the biggest issue here for Ehome is that Faith Beyond has been focused down. Every single time these fights break out, they take that Visage out first, ensuring that he's not going to get value with his Soul Assumption. He's not pumping out that damage as much as he'd want. And that is a lot of the DPS from Ehome just immediately deleted in these fights. So it's important for Faith Beyond to find the space to finish his farm into the BKB. He just needs to be able to safely farm up for himself, but IG's never going to make that easy. They've got their prioritization right in keeping this Visage a non-factor, and with this kind of farm, Faith Beyond, his presence just feels like a super big range creep. It's really been down to that.
Has been. This is not the Visage we're used to seeing from this man at all. IG will just continue. They take an objective top lane. Kaka just taking the T1 tower by himself. Nobody there to defend, so he just freely takes it. Ehome slowly becoming very, very reliant on their position 2 and 1. Emo gonna break this smoke. Things are coming out, but he does Astral Step, but nice silence out from CQ trying to hold him down. He does manage to dissimulate in time, and we'll be able to get out of there. Now they might just turn. With the Wraith King coming in onto Y, they do get the position 5 Venge, and they should perhaps get the Earth Spirit. No. CQ is able to roll out of there. Just nothing working out for Ehome. No. They're just not able to find an opening in IG. I mean, they continue playing defensively, but it's working.
Yeah, they've got that 2k lead for themselves. They're the ones smoked up now. They might find Sylar once more. It's
There's
going
a
to be
DD
big.
active on Emo. It's a lot of damage. Sylar forced to BKB. He goes to the TP attempt, but RP gonna save the day from Nothing to Say. And now, can they clear them out? Well, Sinkyu's gonna come in with the Magnetize. They do get off Kaka. The Wraith King Reincarnation Life also dying. but this Void Spirit actually had an Invis rune, so he'll survive. Back to the Wraith King. The damage, they're just being controlled on the side of Ehome, and it looks like they are going to lose at least one on the Wraith King, and now the DKJT also goes down. Ollie, he's the next target, and he's gone. And somehow, Ehome actually managed to survive through that. Nothing to say was so low for such a long time, and Emo is still around. Sinkyu hits the silence. He stun him up. Actual step away, the roll is going to connect on target, and it's going to be a full team wipe.
Oh my god, did you notice? Nothing to say was TPing out. He RP'd, he got some hits, he TP'd out. The only reason he turned around was that they found the first Aegis kill, and then they turned. There was so much time where he could have just got more kills, hits off, and they still won without hesitation. Ehome, they're hitting their spike. IG has to be really careful. Respect the Magnus. Nothing to say is big. He's got his level 20 talent, more armor out. He's almost at the AC, and into the Roche pit they go. Ehome, and be melting this fast, have to be cautious. IG's respawning, and they don't have RP on Ehome's side.
Why try to fight this? I don't think they want this Roshan to go down to the side of Ehome. It's going down quick though. They've got to hurry up if they're going to make the jump in, and they are not going to make it. Sala has the Aegis, but they'll go for the fight anyway. Onto Sinkyu, but there goes nothing to say. Jumping in onto Fly. He's dying quick. That's the first life. Survived the secondary. The rollback in Sinkyu. Fly. He's gone.
Oh,
that was really fast. That was without the RP being active. He has it up in 10 seconds, and they're chasing for more. Ehome, they smell blood in the water. There is Sylar with the Sprout, but JT will just cut through the trees. But they're going high ground.
Oh, you are hard-pressed to stop this. They don't have the Fortify out. They just right-click so fast. How do you stop it?
One mistake, and you lose him mid-racks, JT. He has the Aghanim Scepter up, so I guess you've got a bit better high ground defense, but nothing to say. Doesn't really seem to care. He still holds on to the cheese, but they stun him up. Why? We'll get him out of there. IG, they've got to punish, but it is a dangerous predicament while that Magnus ulti is available. Sinkyu kicking Y away while he's asleep.
Oh man. Oh boy, Ehome. They have so much scaling here, Mike. I mean, the right-click damage. This is when the Magnus starts to get ridiculous, because RP, there is no counter to RP unless you finish off Nothing to Say first. But he is very hard to finish off now. He has 3.2k HP. That's with just BKB and strength power treads. That's it. Like, he has so much. He has 30 plus armor. You've got to find a way to take care of Nothing to Say, because if he does get the RP, they can make it work, even if it's just one hero. That's all they need to get control over IG. They still have potency. They're not too far behind. It's just a 5k lead, 13 to 13. Again, you mentioned the Ags and JT. That is massive, but he needs more. He doesn't have any damage items on the DK. He's going for the Blink for initiation, and then he's going to have the AC. At that point, you start to feel better, but it's a slow build-up for him, because they're sharing farm with Fly, who has been stuck with that Silver Edge. We talked about him earlier, right? He looked great, but Silver Edge Hyperstone, that's not enough. He needs the BKB, and he is stalled out. They just need space out there, but the map is shrinking.
Sylar's got a moonshot off now on the Nature's Prophet.
Oh, God.
It's problematic. Very, very problematic for IG, and they've smoked up.
Oh.
Trying to get something, but that tier 2 tower, not going to last very long.
They fortified here?
They did, and that means high ground's coming.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure if that was a mistake. They know Sylar still has the Aegis up, so it's kind of a no-brainer for Ehome, surely, but they're waiting around. Still posturing and just checking if anyone's behind them. Sylar, yeah, he's going to make the play up towards that high ground. Fly will show himself. To say does juke out the first stun. Swap in, they got the DK, I believe. JT, he's a tanky target, but the RP comes in onto 2, and that'll be JT gone. Fly will lose his first life. Sprout is there. Does he have a quelling? He does. They're going to go after Y. They'll get the Vengeance. Now Emo jumping into the back lines, but he is running out of spells at the moment. JT trying to protect Emo while he walks away, but it's looking really, really bad because Sylar is hitting way too hard. Still Fly will go back up onto SyncQ, but he goes down. He does have buyback. He'll have to commit straight away. Still trying to run. The Sprouts come out with the Soul Assumption JT. He's going to die back immediately. And now Emo, he jumped in. He does get the Aegis of the Nature's Prophet. Fly back on the run as Emo will do the same. No, he'll jump back in onto the Prophet, but Fly is going to lose his first life once again. Back into it. They've killed off Sylar. That's the main form of damage gone for Ehome. And now it's just the Magnus. Nothing to say. He has been caught out IG. After a few buybacks do push it back, and the only person really left there is Faith Beyond. Drops the, I believe he just dropped the gem. Tried to hide it, but it's been caught out. He's going to go down here to the side of Invictus Gaming.
Whew, that's a good punishment from IG. Very costly in terms of buybacks. They're stuck at a bit of an awkward spot. Ehome might have just overextended a bit. They need a bit more damage out, which is, it's kind of odd to say, but they do. There were a lot of miss hits onto JT early on. I think if they got the DK way earlier in that push, they might have ended up with a better trade. In the end, IG stick to this game. They've only got a 3k deficit. They're still looking good. They're finding some key items. Emo is going to be a lot better off with Ikaya and Sanj. More stats for him to play with, more durability, and you've even got a Solar Crest on Kaka to try and simplify that fight. So they've got some tools available to fight against Ehome's brashness, but it's not like Ehome's too far behind as well. The MKB's almost done for Sylar. Just lacking one part, I believe, and once that's assembled, he's not going to be missing his hits. And he is going to machine gun through everyone else, as even, nothing to say, he's saving up for that Daedalus. Now, they are buying these items out without any buyback. Although there is a Basher, nothing to say actually, but without buyback, they're stuck in a scary position. Have to be cautious about how far they take these fights, because IG, they can melt objectives as well. So you're stuck in an interesting spot for both of these teams now.
You really are. The win probability graph is actually all over the place. Sitting at 54% the way of IG after that high ground attempt from Ehome. It was only in the way of Ehome for about 10 minutes. It is back now for IG. Still Ehome. They go for a smoke. They've got to sight the Vice up on Faith. No buyback, but they've got the Hex. Fly will break the smoke. Dust will find nobody. Ehome just going to have to go back now, and it's a bit too obvious. A sort of scouting arrow out from Kaka. Ehome, they still want to try and get in there somehow. Roll in. They have caught out Emo. The Yules is going to be there from SyncQ with the roll back in, but Emo actually avoids it. Thanks to the Yules of Kaka. Does get SyncQ in it. Now the Moonlight Shadow out from IG. Do they want to counter-initiate here? Looks like they do. Emo going to jump in onto that bench, trying to take down Y, and they do. No, they don't. The RP going to be there in time. Now with the Magnetize, it's a lot of damage out on IG, and they have lost one in the form of JT on the DK. The Reincarnation Light going to be out from Fly, but Sylar doing so much damage, and SyncQ with the control. He'll try to make a run for it. The Yule's out. They at least caught the ET, and Ollie is going to go down. The rest of IG is still in the run, but SyncQ is on the hunt. Kaka tried the TP, but you have very, very low cooldowns on this Earth Spirit. That'll be a third death coming out now for the Dire side.
Oh yeah, those are big wins for Ehome. Not quite the targets they want. They're down the RP now. This is their main constraint to play around. They need the RP from Nothing to Say for the control. And when it's down, that means it can be dicey to force some fights, but they are looking to force objectives anyway. They're pinging out that bot. They want to take these racks.
The only dieback that was there was JT. Everyone else does have the ability to buy back into this game. Well, everyone that's dead right now, and that's just ET. They're going Gonna jump in on to Syncue, but the
Oh,
swap
no.
out from Y, and now Emo, he's gone. He'll buy back, but Fly loses his first life again. Sylar is hidden like an absolute truck at the moment. They've got Fly in the Sprout. He's in huge trouble and does go down. No buyback for another 2 minutes. He is gone on Ollie. Gonna be alright, Syncue, unable to finish him off. It's gonna be a very, very hard defense without their position 1 Wraith King. Ehome, they are 1 racks away from getting Megas. IG gonna try their hearts out for this defense, but the Hex comes out. JT, he cannot afford to die, but he has no choice in the matter. He's gone. Nemo, he's gonna jump in. This could be the final team fight. He does get Y, but he just explodes. Ollie, yeah, he's been caught up on nothing to say. They call it. GG has been called an Ehome. After 4 games in this grand final, do manage to pull off the DPL CDA Season 2. They are your first place winners. Congratulations to them.
That was an amazing game to close out IG. They had a lot of potency. They had a lot of spikes. They got the Fly Wraith King. They got the Emo Faces Void Spirit, sorry. But it wasn't enough. Ehome, they were off to a rough start. They had Fate, nothing to say. Sylar with the pure right-click build, melting everyone down, and what a way to close